Hey fellow riblets, it's me Tom from Target Prime Rib. I wanted to start off with an apology. I did a video that went out earlier today. I did it earlier today, and I didn't mean to be depressing, even though I was very depressed when I did it. However, am feeling better. I know things happen, and just certain things trigger. And I just want everybody to know, okay, off the top of my off the top, just out of the bat, out of the cage, whatever you want to say, I am not giving up carnivore. There's nothing that can make me get rid of carnivore. Now I might occasionally have something here and there, but for the full effect, no. I am not going back to what I was, because even though things are taking a long time for me, even though I'm not giving up, because the thing is, I don't look at it as giving up or staying on carnivore. I look at it as my life is on this path now. I just, like I said before, I just have issues when, for most of my life, people have treated me like I am naive, and and when I hear it in the chats, and I'm not talking about chats on my chat, I'm not talking about comments on my channel. You guys are very, very, but when I hear it from, and sometimes it's even from people I know, people that I value, but when I hear things like, well, you got to realize that this is like, don't give me a lesson, right? But this video is not about that. This video is about, I'm making I want to make some changes. I've been wanting to make these changes for quite a while. And I wanted to, first though, do some thank yous, do some shout outs. But first, all right now, I am watching Bill Knott on one of his videos that he just made for his new channel, Bill and Daisy Alaska. So, he just started out, but please, if you haven't, you don't see this yet, please subscribe to his channel. I see a few people are chiming in, and just, I have asked him on this thing here if he'd want to come on my channel. I know he doesn't do interviews, but let's face facts. If I don't ask, just like Mitch says all the time, if you don't ask, you don't get. So what would it hurt to ask him? Because maybe now he will do more interviews. Who knows, So, I don't think that's being naive. Do you? Okay. So, so a lot of things have happened, all right? So I wanted to, say thank you to one particular person. I don't know if you guys saw the interview with her and Carrie today, but Barb from Crochet Corner. And Barbara, thank you very much. But Barbara just sent me this gift of beautiful colored pencils. So one of them's falling out, which makes it hard to do, but all these beautiful colored pencils here. Okay. So I am going to be doing, and she's not only inspired me, but she's let me know. I mean, I don't know how many there are, but there is a lot of colored pencils in here. And this is, and there's a sketch pad, there's couple sketch pads and coloring books. So I will be doing that. And this is a pretty nice case, right? Okay. So put that over here on the side. So Barbara, thank you. And check out Barbara. She's Granny Crochet Corner. Sorry. All right. And right now, one of the things I want to start doing, okay, is I want to give myself new time. So I'm going to take a break, not a break in the way of like not doing it anymore and stuff like that. I'm still going to be doing my interviews, and as you guys know, if you guys heard Juliet the other day, I am doing a collaboration with her. Don't know exactly when, don't know exactly um, how it's going to be, but me and her will talk, and I'm looking forward to working with her. But I'll do a couple of shorts. I'll do some videos, obviously for my members and stuff like that. So that's not getting, but I probably won't do the Zoom calls as much. I'll pick like maybe one or two Zoom calls each membership, and do them. And I will still try to go on to a few people's lives here and there, but it won't be as much because I want to reserve some time for me. One that might sound a little childish is I want to um, I want to basically be able to catch up on the TV shows I used to watch. I love Star Trek. I love Marvel. I don't have Disney Plus anymore, but that doesn't mean that eventually I won't get it back. But I do have Paramount Plus, and I need to catch up. I want to catch up on, and there's some shows I want to see that I haven't seen that would be very interesting to me. So I want to do that. I also, even though it's not as big, um, I also want to. I started with this one. Okay. I also want to rewrite and do, even though like it doesn't look that big right now, but at one time it was a lot of chapters that's been like cached and cut and stuff like that. But this is actually the book that I started back in high school of Target Prime. So so there's all these things, and it probably, but now that now is probably a good time for me to do this because if I know it might sound like cheating, but like if I do this book and I use GPT to help me, then it might help me get the book done a little quicker. I also want to, and I could do these on the videos too if you guys want, just put in the chat that you definitely would want me to do this. But I want to start drawing more. Okay, I want to get back into drawing. I want to get my passions going again. All right. And I also want to start. I know it sounds crazy, but I want to give some time and do like one or two chapters a day of books. And right now I'm reading this book here, Return to Simple, that Carrie Mann actually gifted me the other day. Now I'm not going to start the book, or I'm going to do some drawings, but right now I am doing 2 chapters a day, and I will be starting this, but I am going to first finish. The one thing I want to finish is pretty much my lesson plans and stuff like that, because if I have to go and study or anything like that, I can do that. But I'm going to interject some of it, or include some of it, I should say. And again, I apologize about today, but the channel's not about all the good that's happening. The channel's about good and bad, and and it's about my journey. And I do get frustrated, I mean, right now my sugars are at 125 right now. So is that horrible? No. But is it where I want to be? No, again. So I mean, I know it's not, like I should, like at least it's not 200 or 3, I get that. I do. What I don't get is why people sometimes think that they need to tell me that I mean, I'm not mad. I'm not upset because my sugars are like 125. I'm upset because it's not where my ACE, 125 is not going to give me a 5.4 A1C, and, in order to get that, I really need to have an average of between 70 and 90 across the board. And I want my sugars to be good. And the fact that they're still not where I want them to be after a year is very frustrating. It's very demoralizing. But and then when somebody talks to me like I don't know anything, that I don't know about diabetes, I've been diabetic for over 20 years now. I don't need to be told what it's like to be diabetic, right? So, and I just, I mean, one of the reasons, like I said, one of the reasons why I choose not to be a coach is because people give me the impression that they would not listen to me. And what's the point of me helping somebody out if they're not going to listen to me? Okay. When my numbers are pristine and I get better, 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 like when I get to that level of improvement, which I know there's going to be higher levels, when I get to that level and I've reversed my diabetes completely, then I will think about doing coaching. Simple as that. I got the tools, I got the know-how, and I even got some of the studies. I got the paperwork. So if I have to go back to it before I do anything, then I'll go back to it. All right. Now that I'm reading a little bit more, I'm probably going to my next book is probably going to be this one. Let me go back over here. It's going to actually be this one right here. All right, which was by Dr. Kiltz, which is Keto is Carnivore. So one book at a time. Like I said, I want to read one. I want to read. Probably this book has short chapters, so I'm probably going to read about 2 chapters. And but I'm also going to be walking. I'm also going to be doing a lot of movement right now with the way my side is. Now the thing with my side is this. Okay, it's more when I wake up. So I think part of it is, part of the issue I have is this. Because ever since the amputation, I don't know why, but I can't sleep on my right side. Like my body just won't let me do it. The pain, and then eventually my subconscious, even when I'm asleep, will automatically turn the other way. Okay. And I think it's part of the bed too. It's not even just, and I tend to, I start off on my back, but I do end up rolling over onto my left side. Now I've always had pain there. I've had it for quite a bit. But I think it's more because I don't use those, it seems to go up into the rib cage, but it does trickle down into the thigh area. So I don't know what it is. I've had doctors look at it and they're like, there's nothing, I know there's something there, but it's not. Let me put it this way. I know that it's not in my head. Okay. And I know that I'm not stupid, but every time I go to the doctor, they make you feel like you're stupid. I don't want to feel like I'm stupid. Okay. Now, if the pain gets exceptionally worse, then, and sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad. Okay. If it gets exceptionally worse, then I will definitely get it checked. I'll definitely go to the doctor. I'm going to mention it to the doctor when I go there, but if it gets worse before I go to the doctor's, which is going to be on the 28th, if it gets worse before I see the doctor, then I'll go to the ER. Simple as that. And my roommate was nice enough to actually offer to help me if I need it. So I have people looking out for me. Okay. But I'm also going to do some things that might be helping, because like I said, it does travel down to the thigh, and the other leg is in the thigh. So I'm going to do some exercises, which I will videotape. Just stretching exercises, just to get the to get my hip flexors in a better position. All right. Like I said, I'm sorry for the ums. I'm not going to break that habit. Maybe naturally I will, but I'm not going to. However, I'm trying. I just want to look at something really quickly. Oh, okay. Like I said, right now, after I'm done with this video, I am going to continue watching the Bill Knott video. So it's titled "Carnivore Down Over 360 Pounds." So it's this one video that he has made for his new channel. Again, it is Bill and Daisy in Alaska, and I will make sure to put it in the chats, as well as Grandma's webpage, YouTube page, in the chats. I don't know if Bill or Grandma has any. I know Grandma has a TikTok, so I'll see if I can find her on TikTok, and I will include that in the descriptions here too. So but I'm not sure if Bill has a TikTok or Instagram or anything like that. So I'm just going to assume he has just the YouTube, and go from there. And so don't worry about me. Okay, I'm going to be doing a few things, trying out new things, but I'm taking the small breaks. Might do like a whole day of a break. I might do I might end, like be like, okay, at such and such time, I am going to, like every day I'll probably take at least a couple hours, and during those times I will use it to read or watch a show or something, and I will do the YouTube, and I'll go on the Zoom calls. I'll try to do it where I can make a couple. Like I said, I'd like to do at least 2 for the 2 memberships that I do, and I would like to do, for Kilts, Healing Humanity, and for SBG. And I want to make sure that I'm able to go to the lives of people I know. I can't make every one of them. I'm sorry about that, people. But in order for me to do this, because that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem of my depression too, is I miss certain things that I'm just not able to do because I'm too busy focusing on the chats and on the videos. I'm not saying it's anybody's fault. It's my fault. Can't you multitask? Well, yeah, but if I'm watching a TV show, I can't watch the video and the TV show. It's hard for me, or if I'm concentrating on writing, then it's, now can I draw? Sure. But if I want to do a videotape, well, I gotta stop the video anyway. Reading, I want to have totally nothing on, because it's easier for me to read when it's quiet, or quiet-ish. I mean, obviously there's going to be noise around me, but when it's quiet-ish. So I know I'm babbling right now, but this is what I just want to make sure that everybody understands what I'm looking to do. My interviews will not stop. Matter of fact, I encourage people to, if you haven't been interviewed, please contact me at my email address, okay? And let me know if you want to be interviewed. Right now, I am booked up until August, but that doesn't mean that we can't figure something out, okay? And I would suggest that you book, because think about it. I'm booked until August because people were willing to book. if you go into the thought process that, well, it's too far out, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing then. Okay, well, if you don't know what you're gonna be doing then why don't you write down the date that's closest, and if you change it, you change it. You know how many people I've had that have canceled and done another date? A few. So why not just book? What are you waiting for? I mean, I find it so idiotic, no offense, but I've asked a few people, and the reason why they give me is, oh, well, I don't know what I'm going to be doing that far out. I don't know what I'm going to be doing that far. Book it. And then if you need to, postpone it or cancel. Preferably postponing, but like, I will probably let you know about a week before. And if at that time you're like, oh my God, I forgot all about it, like I can't do that, I'm going to have to tell them I can't do it. Well, then fine. It happens. Things like that happen. Okay? Now, right now, let me actually take a look. Sorry about that. My last interview that I'm going to be having right now is in July on a Sunday, July 26th, with DC. Okay? And I just booked it today because I did email him, and then he emailed me back. It took a while, but he emailed me back. And I'm hoping to be able to, there's some names I've emailed that I'm waiting for their answer. I want to give them a chance. But right now, all right, I just want to see. Right now, my earliest availability is August 1st. So if anybody's interested, all right, let me know. You can get my email in the description, and I look forward to seeing you. Even if I don't know you, fine, that's great. If you have a story, then let's hear it. Let's do it. Let's put it on my show, and hopefully, as I'm growing, so will the ability of you being seen. Okay, so we're going to end it there. I hope you guys are okay. I'm much better than I was this morning. I do apologize again for the pressing video, but I have to show, my journey. And the path sometimes isn't always smooth sailing. It's rocky, okay? And I do feel that I'm healing very well. The only thing that's not being met is my why. And that's what's frustrating. My why is not being met. But there's so many other things that I'm being helped at. I get so many compliments, which I appreciate. I don't always agree with them, but I appreciate them. And I know that I'm smart. I know I'm not stupid. I just get frustrated because people act like I'm stupid. Okay? But that was never going to stop. Because people don't, even the nice people that do it, don't even realize they're doing it. So I get that. And that's why I kind of like get out of the depression. Because, let's look at some progress on that, okay? Before, I would go to the store and I would buy like 3 cupcakes or, a few candy bars, and I could never make a decision on which one, so I just buy whatever I wanted. Or I go and buy like a few slices of pizza, or I buy all this junk food because I would get all depressed. Or I would eat, or I get like if I had a car, I would go to Burger King and get a large meal, or McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever, and get like a big meal and with a soda and of course you have to have dessert because I mean, what is Burger King without the Hershey Sundae pie, or without without which is all junk, right? Or Dunkin' Donuts with a few donuts because you can't like, oh, I have to be fair to the donuts, right? So that's how I handled it before. Now, fast forward to now I handle it by expressing it when I can, or if it gets to that point where I do get hungry, then I'll have something of a couple sticks of a couple not sticks of butter. Can you imagine that? 2 sticks of butter. Wow, I'd be going to the bathroom for weeks. I have a couple pats of butter, or I have, you know, whatever, and you know, so I mean, things are much better now. Okay, I have some theories, and I'm going to, like I said, with the pain is there. The pain's there right now. It's just not as bad as it was this morning. But I am going to, I'm going to try some different things. But I'm going to hold off on seeing it. I'm not going to say anything until I see the doctor because I really just, no offense, but I just don't trust the ER. Especially with what happened to me when I found out that I had the infection in my back. No one looked at me. No one gave a hoot about it. And I don't think this time it's an infection because the pain is pretty subtle. And like I said, I've had it for a long time, mostly being subtle. So, and what could be affecting it right now is the cold weather too, right? So I'm doing okay. I was a little upset today at one other thing. I was a little upset. I was talking to somebody and I got the vibe from them. I'm not going to say who it was, but I got the vibe from them that they didn't think I was telling the truth. I would not lie about what but, and they can think whatever they want. I mean, they are very, right now, they are very important to me in my journey, but they can think whatever they want. Okay. And I don't know, maybe he did believe me, but he just gave the tone that he didn't, and that sort of bothers me a little bit because I've never lied. And to sort of be thought that was a possibility. Not that he said I lied, but just his tone. Okay. But, so that being said, so I don't keep on rambling, I'm going to start doing some more again. I'm going to ease off on the YouTube, ease off on the Zoom calls a little bit more. I love my memberships. I'll still be part of them, but I need to make time for myself. That's one thing I haven't done is make time for myself, and maybe that's why maybe that's why my sugars aren't low. Maybe that's why I'm having issues. I'm going to do a lot more stretching. I'm going to, when the weather is permissible, I will do some walks. If the stretches help with the pain, then obviously I'll be walking even more. But I also want to do more reading. I want to do more drawing. I want to do more writing. And again, I want to catch up on what I've been missing. All right. So that being said, live, love, heal, which is very important, And I still believe to eat the meat. See you guys later.